Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Misfit One Lifestyles with your girl, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. And listen, my guest today is absolutely fabulous. You are in for a treat, guys, because Dr. Jada is in the house. How you doing, girlfriend?
Ooh, I am wonderful today. I'm telling you, I'm so excited. I'm trying to stay seated in my chair.
Okay, we got to dancing in here. Okay.
Yes, exactly. I'm lovely. Thank you so much for having me.
You know what? I am so honored to have you. So thank you for coming on because, you've been healing people for their bodies and minds. We are very similar in that for over 20 years. And so I just want to know, how did you get started in the health? Because, wait, let me back up a little bit because I have so much to say. Not only are you a holistic physician and weight loss expert, you have a book out. You have been, like I said, healing people for such a long time. What brought you to this industry?
I will say, as you're right, for over 26 years as of this year, I've been in medicine or in healthcare. And for a long time in my career, I tried to fit my philosophy and my outlook on health and wellness into a container that just wasn't really designed for me. So the fit just wasn't there. I tried it so many different ways. I tried it inpatient, outpatient, you name it, I've probably done it.
Right.
And what I began to realize over the course of my career is that there was a difference between health and healing.
Speak.
And that the heal had been taken out of health and had been commercialized, has been heavily monetized, has been sensationalized, has been desensitizing in some ways. And I think what really began to become apparent is that people weren't recognizing their role and their potential in their own ability to become and stay well.
Wow. Y'all heard that? I want to pause right there because you said two very important things, how they took heal out of health. Can you break that down for the people? Because I know what you mean, but
Right.
For everybody out there listening, and I say this all the time, so let the doctor elaborate more. Heal health. Talk to them.
That's right. So if we just simply go back to elementary, if we spell the word health, H-E-A-L, T-H.
Right.
However, the healing has been taken out of health for all of those reasons that I just described. Right. So what I see happening is that we go to healthcare providers, healthcare specialists, healthcare systems,
right,
expecting them
to be healed,
to do something for us.
Mm-hmm.
And when they don't come through to be able to do it for us, then what do?
Right.
So even as a practitioner of this work, I recognize that the healing has to be a partnership at the least, and really at most, Healing has to be the ownership of the individual.
Oh, we going to church today, y'all. We going to church today because you are a woman of my own heart. I believe that it is the self-responsibility of one's self in order to be able to heal thyself. Everything we need is within us. But like you said, we run to the doctors, and I've been doing this too. I myself, if you're not aware, that I have lost over 115 pounds, like, I don't know how many years ago, or over 16 years ago, and have maintained. But, every time I would run to somebody to give me a pill or can I take this, that stuff didn't work. Right. And I know as a doctor, you see it. How many times have people asked for a simple solution? I want a magic pill. I'll drink that tea. Can you prescribe me something?
You're absolutely right. And congratulations. Yes, I'm very aware of your journey and your success in that. And I'm very aware of what it has taken for you to maintain that health and celebrate that health and now champion that amongst the masses. I get it. I absolutely get it. And as a physician, I'm not saying to people abandon that as a part of your resource for becoming well and being well. What I'm saying is I'd like to see us step away from the reliance on the system to create this level of health and well-being for ourselves, for us, that we're not willing to invest in for ourselves. And that investment may be time, it may be money, it may be study, it may be education, it may be investing in how you shift your household, what's in your environment, how you manage stress, what you do on your job. There are a lot of things that factor in, and I'm sure you can attest. Even though physically what was showing up for you was excess weight, but what did it require for you to be able to release that weight and to leave that weight? The changes in the lifestyle.
That's a very good point, because that's exactly it. I had to learn that it wasn't just a weight thing, right? So as a former personal trainer and a nutrition, I can give you all the workouts and make you be bomb, right? I will sculpture you out. But as soon as you leave, you gain that weight back up, right? And same thing with nutrition. I could tell you exactly what to eat, what to do, for a short period of time. But once you're done with that diet plan, you go back to your homeostasis, and then you are back to what you started off at. But if you do not change your mindset, if you do not change your whole, it's a whole lifestyle. That's why it's called Misfit One's lifestyle, right? It's just like you said, what we bring into our home, our environment, not only what we put in our mouth, but what we hear, what we see, what we speak. All of those things are for our health. And I love the fact that you said it's not just a place that we could do it once, right? We have to learn to heal ourselves within, and we have to do it. It's a day-to-day practice for me. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the beauty of it is that day-to-day practice benefits you. So a lot of times people will feel like shifting. I use the word shift often in a place of change, but change, shift. A lot of times it seems so punitive, or it seems so restrictive, or it seems so foreign more than anything. It just becomes a difference from what you've been operating under. And a lot of times people feel like that has to be temporary because what I'm coming from feels so good. And I don't want to come. I want these results, but I want to be able to do the things that I've been doing. And so there's a disconnect there. So in order to get what you want to get and have what you want to have, you have to do what it takes to do that. And more importantly, you have to be who it requires you to be in order to hold on to it.
Right. I always say, eat for the body you want, not the body you have. Right?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And we can even take that another step. Live for the life you want, not the life that you have. A
Bam.
lot of times we want to hold on to the things that are creating our stress. We don't want to really confront what's really in front of us as to why my emotions are driving me to eat beyond my control, why my stress levels are driving me to drink for calm, for peace, for relaxation that's temporary.
Right.
So as we look at how do we transform that, it doesn't come only from our thoughts initiate it.
Right.
Our words fortify it, and our actions create it.
I hope y'all wrote that down. 1, 2, 3. That was that 1, 2, 3 right there. Because that is so true. It is so true. We have so many underlining things, and everybody see the surface, right? I have changed my whole philosophy. My whole career now is all about the holistic approach of the well-being. Now, I work on the inside out, because once we learn how, just what you just said, that 1, 2, 3, honey, is nothing that we couldn't do. And once our mind makes that shift, you see, I picked up your word right there. Boom,
There
boom,
we
boom.
go. It's a shift.
Yeah, once we make that shift, we are now able to see, because me in my own case, I remember I was just focused on the weight, really. But then when I really did the work going through therapy, listen, it was all inside work for me, because I've always been a workout person. I've always been an athlete. So working out, I was 250 pounds. I was size 24 at the gym every day. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I got you.
So it wasn't the working out for me. It was the working in that I needed to do.
Absolutely.
And when you said it earlier, that it wasn't the weight that was my trigger, that is what I saw, but I had to go deeper and find out that, oh my gosh, I'm miserable, right? And I'm a food addict. So I ate when I was happy, ate when I was sad, ate. So, insert whatever there, I would connect it to eating. So when people come to you, because you have I am just blown away about your whole, everything about you, Dr. Jada, is just so amazing. You have a weight loss center out there in Atlanta.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit, and what you offer to your community.
Wonderful. Well, what I love about what we offer is, first of all, let's talk about who we are and how we are, is that we are a safe space for people who are going through one of the most difficult challenges of their lives, which is to transform themselves inside out and outside in. And whichever way it needs to be done, because a lot of times we're working with people who have been chronically obese or overweight, if I could use that word today.
Please
we're talking about people who this may have started in their childhood. And so all they've ever known themselves as, their identity, is enmeshed in being overweight, having too much weight, and not liking it. So what does that mean? I begin to not like myself, because my weight, my physical appearance is a part of who I am. It's how I look now. And so if you can imagine bringing those thoughts forward at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and you're 49 now, they're still there if you haven't healed them.
Right.
So a lot of that requires a professional that understands the mind, the human psychology, the spiritual intelligence, the environmental impact, how relationships are affected. So what I'm describing in that what we do is a very comprehensive approach to the physical that we often will see as the biggest issue.
Correct.
And so we tie those in, and we dissect those, deconstruct them, and construct what it is that you want to see.
Yeah, because we, and a lot of times we don't have uh, that vision. And you said that, I love how you said at a young age, 9 or 10. So I was only heavy like 10 years of my life, right? Really. I've never had a weight problem my whole life. That's a major difference. And I get the way you see yourself and the way you feel others see you is so embedded in who you are. And I love the fact that you have the ability to sit with somebody, because that is exactly what it is. When people come to me, they think that we're going to go work out. We go, come on, let's go. No, no, I'm not going to give you a diet plan. How many calories can I eat a day? Right?
Yes, exactly. It's
So,
often the thing that they want to hone in on because that's what has been publicized or commercialized
right.
and capitalized on, actually. And
Absolutely.
so it always seems like if I could just do this, and quite frankly, in the medical community, in the traditional medical community, that's almost been underscored. Eat less and exercise more. Otherwise, you don't have a problem. And even as a professional on the medical side, uh, recognize that limiting belief is causing a lot of people a lot of frustration
Yes.
and a
Yes.
lot of despair and disappointment. And many people are giving up because they feel like they've done that.
Giving up.
If that's all that they can go to their PCP or their healthcare facility, that's the best that you got for them. It's like, well, hey, I've done that.
Right.
That didn't work. So I'm out of here. Check
So
out.
that's it. You are absolutely right. They give up, and I see that a lot, I'm sure as you do as well, like you're saying. It's just I want to, but it's the same things over and over. I do this diet, I lose the weight, I work out, I lose the weight, but it comes back. I just, maybe I'm just meant to be this way. I'm just going to have to live this way, right? And I say all the time, it doesn't matter your size as long as you're healthy. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yes. Well, there are two ways to look at that. And that's a good point that you bring up. I think it depends on what we're looking at as healthy. And we also look at what is at stake or what is at risk
Yes.
of eventually becoming impacted as a result of your weight. Whether it is, you may not have diabetes today, may not have high blood pressure today, that you may not have sleep apnea today. However, we do know, and even in people who have those normal profiles, that there's still underlying things that excess fat will do to your body that you may not see in the moment.
Right now. Hey, ooh.
But there are things that it's doing to impact, because first of all, fat, and especially certain types of fat, is pro-inflammatory. So inflammation over time, we know we're connecting inflammation to heart attacks. We're connecting inflammation to strokes. Mm-hmm. We're connecting inflammation to autoimmune conditions, things like lupus. There are a lot of things that are connected to that you may not see in the traditional, and you may not see now. I think the beautiful thing is that you have the opportunity before those things begin to discover themselves in your world. You have the best opportunity to put as much distance between those and you as you possibly can by being proactive.
Yeah, I've always said that. And thank you so much for really talking to us about it, because, it's such a sensitive subject, first of all. And we at Misfit One right now. So we're going to talk real, right? And speaking of real, that's the name of your clinic, right? Real weight loss. and wellness. I love that.
Yes.
And not only that, you got a book. Girl, get ready to lose the damn weight.
Yes, yes, yes. So R.E.A.L is, and just so you know, we are based in Atlanta. However, I'm licensed, and we do see people in other states.
Yes.
So we do provide virtual services. And I do have clients that we provide virtual services. They're kind of in a hybrid model, and they come to Atlanta and we see them when they come, and we schedule their certain procedures and things that we're going to do, certain services. We schedule them in the office, and they just make a trip of it. So we are based in Atlanta, and the acronym R.E.A.L is an acronym, R.E.A.L, Renew, Empower, Achieve, Live. And we want you to do those well. And so that is the acronym that really embodies the essence of what we do and the essence of why we do it. And it is, I believe, an opportunity for people to reconnect with themselves in a personal way that creates success mindedness. And I believe that the book underscores that for those who don't know it, those just to elaborate, in addition to being a weight loss physician, that I'm also a certified professional life coach. And I marry these two together really well because I see the struggles on both sides. And what we know is not having that alignment in those other areas really affect us. And this is a physical manifestation. And so the book, Girl, Get Ready to Lose the Damn Weight, is a weight loss book about more than weight loss.
I know, it's so refreshing to speak to someone, because I am not a physician. I don't know the medical side of it, right? I just know the for me, living through it and then being trained in it, right?
Right.
But the medical side, like I'm a life coach, I've studied all this. I got all my certificates and all my things, but I am not a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Like, no. And so to speak to a doctor that is saying the same things that we have learned and I have learned, but can give it that punch with that science on it, it's amazing. And I really, really do just appreciate you coming on and speaking to us. How can we connect with you?
So it absolutely would be my pleasure for you to connect with me in my office. If you're thinking about medical weight loss, a lot of times people are thinking about surgery. They feel like they've gotten to their last resort. Before you go to surgery, call me.
Yes.
Call us before you go to surgery, whether that's bypass, lap bands, sleeves, lipo. Before you go to surgery, give me a call. The number is 404-464-8749. You can actually go straight to our website to schedule a discovery call, and we'll get you connected that way. The website for ease is www.startwithreal.com. That's start with R.E.A.L.com. I am a person of many talents and many passions and many gifts. And I love to connect with day-to-day things that are going on. So if you're going to follow me on social media, Instagram and Facebook at DRJADAMD. That's Dr. Jada MD.
Yes, we all gonna follow. We're gonna connect. We're gonna reach out and get them discovery calls, because it's important, especially with everything is going on right now in this world. It's important to take care of you, and it's healing your mind is, like you said, is important for your physical as well. And all the links to having all that extra weight on is devastating. A lot of times people say, no, I don't have high blood pressure. And I always think, yet. I don't have diabetes, no, yet, right? So like you said, be proactive. I've always said, I want to work out before a doctor tells me. I have to work out, when it's before a life and death situation. And I don't want to do that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I think part of what gets often overlooked in this conversation is what the impact is of this weight, not just on those things that we often will talk about with blood pressure and diabetes, but really just your quality of life. Thinking about the impact for those who are entrepreneurs, business owners.
Yes.
How do you show up for your brand? How do you show up for your business?
Right.
Are you on stage or speaking up? Are you in conferences? Are you really showing up and sharing the way that you really need to advance your business?
Right.
Or are you in the background because you're not feeling confident? You're not feeling like you're at your best.
Right.
Some people physically don't have the endurance or the stamina to go to these places, conferences, and do the things that your other peers or colleagues are doing. So naturally, when you see them excel, what does that do for your self-esteem?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, there are bigger connections than just looking at, okay, the numbers are important. Your blood pressure, oh, absolutely. I'm a doctor, I'm gonna tell you that.
Right.
I think we need to think more broadly though of how this impacts us. And really importantly is, if you are the parent or grandparent of children that you are raising or co-parenting, they're learning from us. They're learning from you.
Absolutely.
So we often will talk about leaving a legacy. I think we're often talking about building our wealth.
Yes.
We're thinking about money.
Yes.
But a health legacy is going to supersede a wealth legacy, because if you're healthy, you can always go out there and get more money.
Say it.
But you cannot take money to go buy another body.
Nope, this is it. And that's the thing. You are right on it. And that's all my little spot right there, because if you are not at your best, your body is not functioning, you foggy headed, you don't have the clarity, you don't have the energy, you just don't have that confidence that you need. And think about when you taking care of yourself, your productivity is out of the roof. Like if you think you the shit now, you know what I'm saying? Think about when you are really firing at all levels, that your business as an entrepreneur would really, really just blow up, transform, shift, all of those things. And it starts with you. Now, I love that you say that, because about how the kids are watching us. Have you noticed that if you have an overweight mom, it's usually overweight kids? But if you have a mom that's conscious and doing the things her kids don't usually, have you noticed that?
I would say to you, not only have I noticed it, but studies have shown that children and adolescents of overweight parents exponentially are at greater risk of becoming overweight. Yep. Especially if one parent is somewhere on the order of about 60 to 70%. Two parents can be as high as 80 to 90%, yep, particularly in certain cultures and in certain communities. So specifically, if we're talking about people of color, if we're talking about minority communities, if we're talking about BIPOCs, then we already know that we're at a greater risk of seeing obesity in adulthood and multiplying that in childhood and adolescence. So the next study is that an adolescent who is overweight or obese is more likely, 8 out of 10 times more likely to go on to be an overweight adult.
Right.
Unless there is a conscious and intentional intervention.
That's right. And it's called FIT, right? You say you can be focused. That's my whole platform. FIT, focus, intention, and you transform. Because once you focus on something, you know what you're working for with, right? What you want, that quality of life. Then you move with intentions in order to gain that, right? You have purpose behind what you're doing every day, and just sit back and watch that transformation or that shift, because there's no way there's just no way it won't happen if you are moving with intention. And I love that because you have so much great information to give us, but I want to know, can you give us like 3 tips? People who are listening right now, 3 tips. Go ahead.
Three tips. Let me see. 3 tips. What kind of tips you want me to give them? Or you just want me to give them?
I want you, that's what I'm saying. I'll give them 3 tips into really, if they are debating that weight loss surgery or that weight loss journey, what is 3 things that they should look at within themselves, right? I'm not talking about like searching, you know what I'm saying, within themselves.
Okay. So 3 things. One thing is going to be just to be honest with yourself. You just be honest with yourself. A lot of times what I'm seeing in current culture is that people who are struggling with their weight are looking at ways to glamorize it or even to turn it around and accuse others of body shaming or not being sensitive. And I get it. There are people out there that are stepping right into that. However, there are people out there that are really here to serve and to help, to educate, to train, to lead, to guide. And I think a part of that requires a level of honesty to say, am I going to receive the message or am I going to shoot the messenger? Ooh. So we have to really be honest about that. That requires a certain level of honesty. If you feel like every day you're dressing up, you're going out of your way to have, nails, hair, bags, designer things that make you feel good about yourself. But when you take those things off, you're out of the public eye and you're at home with you and you're still not happy and satisfied through and through, it doesn't matter what the public image is. It really doesn't.
Facts.
It really boils down to you. So the first thing is be honest with yourself.
Love it.
The second thing is, believe it or not, in that honesty, I love on you. I'm a love on you. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Placing blame, shame, and guilt is such a low frequency vibration. It's suffocating. It is hard to rise up above those frequencies of energy. So be gentle with yourself, be acknowledging and accepting. Love on yourself. And that's another tip off. If you look in the mirror and you can't do this, you can't do these things that I'm sharing, that takes me to the third tip, which is to get help. Source help for yourself. One of the most loving things you can do for you is to source help for you. Source a solution to this problem. Source an outlet, a lifeline. Don't suffer in silence.
You know what?
Source help.
That's phenomenal because it's so you listen, we're gonna have to do this again because I'm about to go to church on the things that you were saying because my whole thing is love yourself to help. Love yourself to help. Yes. Your subconscious is hearing everything you are saying about her, girlfriend. And if you don't like her, she don't like you. You know what I'm saying?
You just said it. You said it. And I heard what you said.
Yes.
And you said what you said.
Listen, I want to really thank you, Dr. Jada. We're going to have to do this again because the tips that you have given us is priceless. I mean, this podcast right here can save your life.
I say.
Okay. But before we sign off, I just want to know, how do you take care of you? What does your self-care look like?
Oh, thank you for asking me, and I'm happy to share. Let's do a little bit of how it popped off this morning.
Talk to me.
First of all, I reserve the first 20 minutes of the morning for me and God. The first 20 minutes for me and God. That requires Two things.
What's that?
I'm a tap on this, but I know we're gonna have to start this and put a pin in it and come back to it.
Okay.
People will often say to me, I don't have the willpower. I just was on the line with a client yesterday. She said, I realized I just don't have the willpower. And I said, sis, you may not have the willpower, but let's not over rely on willpower. Let's put two things in front of that willpower and watch willpower exponentially increase. One thing is discipline. And the second thing is commitment. If you put those two together over and over and over again, you can't help but to see an increase in your willpower.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So it requires me to spend that extra, get up extra to be able to be disciplined enough to get that time in. So I take a few minutes in the morning. Second thing is I exercise my body daily.
Amen.
I'm gonna do something.
Right.
And I prefer to do it in the mornings because it's the one thing that says to me, you have conquered something today.
Say it.
You are dependable. You are reliable. You can count on you. You are looking out for you.
Right.
I get outdoors every day. Getting outside is so important.
So important. Yes.
I feed myself healthy foods that are going to give me a return on my investment.
Oh,
I'm not putting some junk in expecting some miracles to come out.
right.
And I'm consistent with that. I'm consistent. Do I eat things that would be considered to be junk? Absolutely. There are things that I enjoy as well. I love me a Lay's potato chip, although I think they changed the formula later.
I know, right? Yeah.
You know, there are things that I'm going to enjoy, but you best to know those are not going to be what I feast on.
Every day, all day.
It's not going to do, I'm not.
No,
I meditate. I get quiet time. That's a two-way communication, I believe. I ensure that when my stress levels are rising, that I'm aware of that. And then I'm in charge of that. I don't let somebody else stress me out and keep me stressed out.
Right,
if you're stressed out, it's because you're stressed out.
Tell them.
See, you can't be stressed out and somebody else over there is the source of your stress.
No.
But you're stressed out. It's your stress.
It's your stress. That's just like that drinking poison, right? And expect the other person to die. It ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
I admire how you say with the willpower and the discipline. I get that a lot too, my clients. But guess what? They are disciplined on some things. They're disciplined in going to McDonald's. They are disciplined at going to get this food or go and get that. You are disciplined, but is it disciplined to things that is going to help you or hinder you? And that is it, because we all have discipline. It's just what we are focusing on. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that when we think about discipline, sometimes we think about it as discipline as a spanking or whipping.
Yes, a punishment. Yes.
Some type of punishment. But honestly, the root of discipline is to disciple. And the meaning of disciple means to teach or to train.
That's
so
right.
Essentially, what you are doing is you are teaching and training yourself to have these behaviors, habits, beliefs, actions that then tag those to commitment that give you the result that you're going for. So we really get to choose that.
Yeah, it's your choice. You are the architect of your life. What are you building? That's all.
Yeah.
That's all, right?
Yes.
Listen, you are giving us life today. Again, before we sign off, tell them how they can stay connected with you. And I can't wait to connect with you.
I would love for you all to follow me on social media at DrJadaMD. That's at Dr. Jada MD. And if you click on my link tree, You will see all the ways to access my weight loss services in my medical center. You'll be able to find my book. You'll be able to find my coaching programs. You'll have all the deets that are right there. So if you go to Instagram at DRJADAMD, you can also follow me on Facebook as well. I'll keep you updated. And on Thursday nights, I host Girl Talk Live. So you are welcome to join me there. And I often will do some right on the spot coaching. So if you're looking for some on the spot coaching, follow me on at DRJADAMD.
There you go. Listen, you you just gave me life. You a highlight of my day. I feel as though I am light and ready to just, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, well, I'm glad.
Yes, and I'm sure everybody who's listening is feeling that way. Thank you again. Honored to have you on as a guest. You got to come back and give us some more words of wisdom. Talk to the people, Dr. Jada.
It would be my pleasure and my honor to come back anytime. You just let me know, and I am here. And thank you to your team, and thank you to your listeners. Thank you for leading this amazing community of people and sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, your journey, your truth in such a transparent and open and kind and caring way. We do know that sharing is caring, and you demonstrate that day after day after day. So I want to just celebrate you and tell you how much I appreciate you trusting me to be here in front of your audience. I don't take that lightly. And y'all, you should just be loving on her constantly, because this is a labor of love. I know it is. And this is something that you do to serve. It is an act of service. So thank you for your service. Thank you for allowing me to be here on your stage. It's been my pleasure and my honor, and I can hardly wait for next time.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, till next week, stay fit. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen, when you are fed up and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self, you know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfit1.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habits, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life.